Record. I'm going to go ahead and record this, guys. Good morning, everyone. Appreciate it. Coming live from Las Vegas. We're excited today with the 2022 annual global conference. I think it was 63 nations were actually presented, or people that are represented here. It was come crazy, a lot of fun activities. So probably look for some social media posts and stuff. And yes, Ali, I've seen your dad a couple times, so I think he's safe and good. So I think a group photo that I believe that we are going to be seen here in the near future, or going to meet together for a group photo. So let me go back here to our present this, and I'll kind of watch for people coming in. Slideshow, start from beginning, probably the easiest on this one, and I'll just kind of zoom through it. All right, so guys, there's so much. The very interesting thing about Vegas here is that they have discussed probably 50% of the classes are about getting more listings. And so we're right on the cusp of knowing and doing what we've been actually learning and building up to what we're actually doing for the last several weeks on getting more listings. So I'm excited to take some of the stuff that I've learned. There's so much more. My wife will probably join us here in just a moment, but she said, please don't overwhelm them with so much stuff, because they just fire at you like several different classes all day long. So we're super excited about what we've done. There's Greg Harrelson, who's an amazing owner broker that does some coaching. There's interesting to see, there's a lot of new training classes that the brokers and stuff, like if they asked me to come do a training, then we would do like a training with them, and they do like a series of training on getting more listings and stuff. So they should be on C21 Online. I did subscribe to a couple of them, and so we're going to be doing those, which will be kind of fun. So I want to share with you a little bit. There was continuing with Jerry James and his activities. One thing that he shared this week was about help me out posts. So just keep that in mind, that we've been doing all these different posts and all this different stuff. There's one lady in here that I took a class yesterday from Instagram. She's totally killing it. She had like $2.1 million last year of income, not income, but houses that were sold in a smaller market. I think it was like a 63,000 income of the AGC, and then she doubled it to 120 something thousand dollars of gross commissions that she was able to bring in just on Instagram. And so she had some great ideas that we'll be sharing as well. So he shared, Jared James posted like, hello, everyone. I have a client who's looking for in Auburn for 3.2. Sorry, I've got your guys' screen. If you or anyone might be considering selling, please let me know. I might be able to sell it before it goes on the market. So you guys have seen that that verbiage that he's been able to share. But now what he's doing is that used to be a video. Then from maybe 4 weeks ago, we promoted those videos online, and now he's just saying, stick these things on, put them on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to put them, and then you'll just kind of watch and see. We want to be careful not to put like, hey, I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, over 1,500 square foot, between an acre and acre and a half. Don't minimize, or don't like narrow it down so much where immediately you disqualify particular sellers who go, well, that's not my house. Because if you said I'm looking for a house that under $350,000 in our market, and some of you guys' markets might fit that, but others you might just eliminate everyone. So maybe somebody has a $550,000 house and they were about to call you, but now you just disqualified them, and then they don't call. So have that action and a call to action to say, hey, come, I have something for you. I want you to come talk to me. So you guys let me know when you guys see scripts and you see the word scripts, what do you guys think? Does it just freak you out? Somebody can answer. We got yeses. So does anybody ever go in and actually like scripts and actually memorize scripts?
No.
No, and that's what basically Greg was talking about, that people just don't. Usually when you get a lot of trainers will go, hey guys, let's learn scripts. People go, I don't want to learn scripts. They just kind of like, it's just kind of like, you don't want to sound like a robot. You guys have got it. You've gotten phone calls where it says, hello, I'm Eric Hatch with Century 21, and I'm calling you today to see if you wanted to list your house. Sorry, did you interrupt? Oh, one moment, I'm almost done. Do you want to, with the scripts when they're calling. And so his thought was that kind of get the mindset shifted off of scripts. And he kind of went into 3 phases, which was kind of fun, that kind of helped. So eliminate the word scripts, but we need to know the language of listings. If you don't have the language of listings, we're just not going to get the language there down. Let me watch this chat box here, guys. Good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. All right. So 3 phases. Phase number one, and they might kick me out anytime, by the way, guys. They told me that these rooms are reserved, but we'll see. All right, Tammy Anderson, live from Vegas, is coming in the house. So we've got Bruno Mars. Okay, so this is thank you, Madison, for putting a picture of Bruno Mars. She said she had to struggle to go find some appropriate picture of Bruno Mars, but here it is. So how many people actually sing along to Bruno Mars, or know a song that you guys sing, and you guys, like, the very first time you're kind of singing it, or you're kind of hearing, oh, that's kind of a cool song, it's got a good rhythm to it, and you're kind of listening to it in the car, and then you're kind of like mouthing a few words, and then maybe about a month later you kind of listen to it a little bit more, and then maybe 2 months later you're absolutely just rocking out to the song, you've got it down, you don't really care who around you and who's watching you in your vehicle, and you're just jumping around listening and playing his song, and then you're just singing it. And that's kind of like the memorization of these scripts. Yes, there's tons of scripts. You guys can find scripts all over the place, but if you don't know what to say and you don't know that language about listings, you're just not going to, you'll fail. You don't want to go into a listing and then you kind of go, wonder why I didn't get it. And you guys should circle back and ask your sellers and say, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me come over and visit with you. And, thanks for letting me know that you just gave the listing to Tim, like you're just all like furious, but then at the same time you just go, hey, do you mind, was there a reason why that you chose another agent? Maybe they won't tell you that it's Tim, but they'll at least let you know that they chose somebody else. And you go, hey, just to help me out, I know we had a great relationship and a good rapport there, but obviously there was something that you decided to go with a different agent. Do you mind sharing me what, kind of what that was? And then you'll at least get to know. And then, yes, you won't really like the answer, but then if there's something that you can fix, but if you never ask that question, that you will never know it. So, get to know that, guys. And what they're basically saying here is to take these scripts, and you can just take a script and you can just record the script and listen to it over and over again. So if somebody asks you about commission reduction, or if somebody asks you about some handling objections, because I know Tammy loves the objection classes that I give, right, Tammy? Good morning, Tammy. So appreciate it.
Oh, wait, you can hear us now.
I can.
We're making a lot of noise. We're making a lot of noise. Let me put on mute. We got a hair dryer going. Sorry.
Yeah, you got hair dryers, hair curlers. And you guys just come to Vegas. Just FYI, next year we're all going to Miami. So that's where the conference, the global conference, is going to Miami beginning of March. So we're excited about that. So you would take this and you would just kind of take a script and you would just record it, and you just listen, just record it, just read it in your own voice and listen to it. And then what he was saying is that you would just do it just like Bruno Mars song, that you would just do it over and over again. You just play it. So you get into the car, you go into appointments, you just listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. And then what you do is that then about a week and a half later, you then take your phone or your recording device and you record it again without reading it, of just what you're having it kind of memorized, of what you remember it being. And then you listen to it and you listen to it and you listen to it. And so you do that several times, because then you're going to be internalization. So first you have memorization, then you have internalization of, like, you got to internalize, guys, of what you need to know. So like when you started real estate, and you guys we all started real estate, and your broker, your manager, and your TC, our lovely Vicky, or somebody says, oh, you need to say this. You need to say this. And you go, okay, great. Then you say it. And then the deal is that you don't know why you're saying it, because you were just told you had to say it. But you guys we need to realize and understand in the language of listings is why and when and why we're even saying that. And so you guys will understand as you guys build your business and you actually come in. Because guys, I list a lot of houses. I sell a lot of homes, but I am the smallest fish when it comes to the people that we've actually been able to associate with the people that are here at this conference. This guy, this agent right here that was talking about this training, I don't remember, Tammy, it was like 500 listings. We've rubbed shoulders with people that are taking 200 to 300 listings a year, and selling them. And so it's like, wow, these guys are the people that we would come and listen to and actually take from their advice. So I'm actually passing on to them. So, we need to know why and what and why and when to say those. There's different tonalities. I thought it was really fun, because if you actually sit there and go, if I told you, Tammy, shut up, and then you go, wow, it was nice. But I go, hey, Tammy, shut up. No way. That's so cool. So there's different tonalities and things that you can say and do, because there's times where I've actually come in and actually spoken to some people on a listing, and you kind of have to build that rapport, because sometimes you don't really know if all they're doing is answering, you're asking yes and no questions. That's not going to go really well. You need to know and ask questions like, when you moved to this house 14 years ago, I already knew they moved into the home 14 years ago. What were some of the things that that screamed at you that you just said, oh, I just have to have this house? That's not a yes and no question. That is a question that I'm actually building rapport with them and understanding why they like the house. Then I'll be able to push that. So then when we're out walking the tour of the home, and I would just repeat again, wow, you're 100% right, Tammy. I can see why the view, what you just mentioned, oh, this is spectacular. So I just built the rapport where they go, wow, he understands. He understands kind of the speciality of the home. And so having the tonalities and things to say are really important, because oftentimes in our sellers, most of them think that their home is like the best thing since sliced bread. And you kind of go, wow, maybe, and we all know that, wow, you got holes in the wall, it smells over here, it's really bad. And they think that their house is worth $1 million. And somehow I'm going to have to use my tonality and say, your home stinks, your home has a problem. You've got, I see that you have a problem out here, you got leaky sewage. I mean, these are some things that you just have to just kind of understand and know how to say them in a polite way, but at the same time, you need to be that influencer. Yesterday on the phone, I spent like 10 minutes on the phone with a land guy trying to sell his home. And he immediately at the end of the conversation says, Eric, you're the second one that's called. And I was so shocked because I had already had speed to the lead and that already called. And I said, you're going to have several more that are going to call you. And he goes, but so far you sound like you're more knowledgeable and you understand, more than the other caller. So I don't know what that conversation went. I don't know how it went, but if you just know a little bit to get in to discuss things about property, discuss percamantles, discuss different things and build that rapport, then they think that you are the person that they want to go with. So your different tonalities are important. Don't go into objection handling if they just ask you a question. And so I love this, guys, is that he said, if somebody immediately says, will you reduce your commission or not? That's like a yes and no question. So you put yourself like, do you sit there across the table and how are you going to answer that? Are you going to say yes? If you say no, then they like the wall, you're building up this wall that they're going to like, how are you going to handle that? So I love where he basically just turned it around. So that's a great question. Do you have any other additional questions at the moment, before we go into that the presentation portion of the commission? So you kind of like, don't ignore that. You have to acknowledge that you actually discussed it. But if you come in and say yes, no, and then you immediately tell them, but you're just now going into objection handling when they just asked you a question. So I thought that was kind of a brilliant move what he was basically doing. And so about would you cut the commission? So basically, guys, if somebody yesterday that we're going to be listing the property, she called me again and goes, can we kind of go over the commission again? And so I basically told her when we met that we would do a commission of 5.5%. Now, I don't know what you guys do. I take the 3%. If I'm a listing agent, I take the 3% and I give 2.5% to the other side, only because we have more marketing, more cost associated with the whole deal. And I put that on my listing agreement straight up. There it is. And so when she called me and asked me, now, can you explain where that percentage goes with the 5.5%? Now, it's interesting. A lot of times we have a lot of buyers or sellers that are coming and maybe they're talking to Aunt Martha or they're talking to their parents or the grandma or whatever it might be. They're kind of, you can tell when some of these questions are coming from a different source. And so I just shared with it. And I just basically said, yeah, I take the 3%, give the 2.5%. You sound confident and you don't wishy-wash. You don't want to sit there and go, because they want to know that there's a lot of money. These sellers are paying us a lot of money. And so they want to know where it's going and what it's being used for. And so cutting commissions is just depends on what type of price point. So if it's a straight up, if it's over $700,000, $800,000, $600,000, $700,000, there's a possibility that it could be around the 5%. There's the homes that I've completely just said, nope, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go any lower. And here's my marketing plan, and I'm not going to take anything from it because then that won't be who I am. I'm not going to take things and say, okay, I'm not going to do my drone, I'm not going to do this, and I'm just going to give you this little a la carte kind of thing. And then you end up doing all the work in this anyway, and then you end up spending sometimes in those cases more time and more money. So if they don't want to work with me and they want to go a different direction, they're welcome to do so. But when you show them the whole package, then I just don't have people that are complaining and griping about a commission that's 5% or anything less than 5%. So we will talk about that. And I love these pictures of that. You've got doctors, you've got airline pilots, and you've got attorneys. Now, there's about 6 or 7 of us that flew over here on an airplane. Would we think that when we got on there, would we be very comfortable if we felt that the pilot was just going to wing it? Would we feel comfortable that the attorney was just going to wing it if they're defending somebody in court? Would we feel that our accountant was just winging it? So no, they're going through scripts and dialogues and going through tasks and things, going through the process of this. And so for us, as we want to be this listing machine and get all these listings, he actually, Greg Harrelson, stood up and introduced one of his new, I would probably less than a year, I think, or something. And I think, I can't remember, Tam, if you were in that class, but I think he already has 26 listings, I think, since the beginning of the year that he's already done. And then I will tell you their secrets, guys, and it's coming up in a few minutes, but their secrets is that they get in the office at 7:30 and they start at 8 a.m. for 2 hours. They just prospect, and they're all in the same room, kind of a little desk kiosk kind of area, and they're all just kind of watching everybody doing prospecting. And so we're going to talk about those things here in just a moment. So after you memorize it, do all those little videos, do the recording thing I was sharing with you, and then you internalize it of what am I going to be doing? How does this all kind of work? When do I say it? How do I say it? And then you're basically just going to have personalization. I can walk into it. I know, Tim, you and I've gone on to a listing appointment, and you just kind of you're just be natural. There was my first couple times I had sweat marks behind my kneecaps. I had sweat marks in my shirts. I was freaking out and wondering what in the world I was even doing. And they're entrusting you with their expensive, most expensive asset in their whole entire life. And so then you just get personalization, and you just kind of chat with them, and you're asking these questions intermixed with just kind of building that rapport. And so then you're going to stand out because they're going to go, I really like this person. I like that how they command themselves and how confident they are. And it comes down to, daily conversations. Have you ever had now that I love this, have you guys ever had a transaction that took place without a contact? No, we got shaking heads, no's. Guys, it's basically what it is that if you don't have, you have to have a conversation to be able to have that. And so it's those daily conversations. And so they're doing 2 hours of that. And I think when you generate, you don't have to tolerate. Maybe in some of you guys who are just starting real estate, it's a little hard because everybody that you wants to buy or sell, you guys are going to be just saying, I'll take anyone, I'll take all of them, just give them all to me. And then you get to a point where you would go, you know what? I didn't really feel comfortable about that. I didn't like that conversation. Hello, Shen. So I didn't really like that conversation, how that kind of went. And if you don't feel comfortable about it, you can just say, you know what? No, I'm not gonna work with that individual. And you can refer it to somebody if you feel like there's a better fit. I've referred lots of deals and lands and up north and way out locations and different things that I don't feel like spending 3-4 hours driving to go meet. All right. I love this though. His dad had shared him that a day not prospect is a day not work. So I really feel that way. I really feel that when I finish my day, and if I don't feel that I just feel like it's not a great day, I could be sitting there writing offers, going to listing appointments, busy. And if I don't feel like I picked up the phone, I don't feel like I text people, if I don't feel like I've made contact with future business, I personally feel that was a non-successful day. And ask Madison, my assistant, who she'll always tell you that I'm sitting here saying, we got to do more. We have to do more. We got to talk to these individuals. What were my tasks today? I completely didn't have time to get to them. So again, it comes down to time management, but a day not prospecting is a day not worked. I love this here. I know we always talk about build a database, but I love that he snuck in the word a data bank, and it makes so much more sense. So anybody, you guys can raise your hand, you can comment in the chat, what your database looks like, how many people you feel you have in your database. And I would really feel that you guys need to know that number. If you guys tell me right now that I don't know the number, or it's all in my head, that's a scary place. So you guys need to know that number. Do I have 500 people? I love it that Select is building your database for you, and then at least a place to collect it. There's a new program that maybe Tammy could share a little bit about, Moxie, that's coming up. That Century 21 is doing a whole new CRM. It's kind of combining all these zaps and all these different things and bring it into called Moxie, which looks really, really good. But you guys on your database, There was somebody, I can't remember what they were. It was some crazy 100-something thousand people in his database, and he's just rocking and rolling. This Greg guy that was listing, I don't know how many he listed, but it was some 200 and something houses, and he said he didn't make one phone call. They all just reached out to him. Would you guys like that, to get to a point where they're all reaching out to you and you didn't have to make a single phone call or reach out? Because again, he and I have been doing this for a long time, and so you kind of have business that just kind of comes to you. But a database, call it a data bank. It's a resource. So look at your database and see who it is. I've got 9,200 people that are in my database, and then you just keep pounding them. Yes, this week I had 2 people that says, please remove me. And they were kind of rude about some things, but it's like, okay, fine. I don't really care. So you got to have that attitude that yes, it might hurt. Like, oh, wait, I thought we were friends. Most of these people who are saying, get out, stop sending me stuff aren't personal friends of mine, but somehow they found my website and subscribed, or through Facebook, and we're putting them in. So he was talking about doing a monthly send to them, do a video of, so their face, because of your face, send it to them, because you're building your mind share. You want them, instead of like build a market share, you want to have their mind. They want to know when they're actually going to go out and reach over and say, I need to buy something. They want them to think about you. And that's our biggest plan. It's like, I don't care if you guys are doing one little small community, a larger, area, you guys need to do that. And they're really talking about circle prospecting and stuff, about getting listings and how they're doing it. And that's all that this one guy did that I don't know, that was crazy. He was like kind of a crazy guy that was like 500 and something, that I went to a class that Tammy and I yesterday. So I love this, where he says a listing machine does not matter what lead source you use. So in this class, he says he gives about 20, 30 different lead sources. So when we take the class, we'll actually maybe share those for you, and you can kind of see. But it's anything all the way down from expireds to FSBOs to the Home Lights of the world to different organizations that are actually out there pushing listings your direction. So a market does not dictate your activities, and I always like this too, that it's your activities that will dictate your market that you're in. So if you're not doing the activities, then your market's going to be horrible. I was able to, guys, I met this most coolest guy named Joe, that we were standing in line there with the Centurion Line Parade. And he just got back from Ukraine like 2-3 days ago. And he's telling me he's bringing Green Beret friends over there, and they're buying vans and cars and just going across the border. He got letters from the mayor and organizing this this organization of getting these refugees and pulling them out of orphanages and reuniting families and going just on these Green Beret kind of missions. Of course, they're not US, approved, but they're just all these. And he said it was so impressive, all these people from all over the world that are just showing up there and just going across the borders and helping through Poland. And he said it was amazing to watch with their faces and stuff. So again, that's their market. Yes, I know if we're into a war that's going to destroy our market and unfortunately our lives, but at the same time, our market fluctuates. And yes, it might fluctuate with interest rates, might fluctuate with the war going on, but if you stop doing activities, or you just need to do a small shifts in some scripts that he shared of just about what things on a for sale by owner script that he was talking about, that, I loved it where he shared this. And I think I can paraphrase this, where it was like, if you call him up and immediately that for sale by owner says, hey, Amber, why are you calling me? I can do this on my own. And then Amber would say something like, oh no, absolutely. Like 5-6 years ago, no, or 10 years ago, no, the for sale by owner had to have an agent, but right now they probably could sell it on their own. So Amber would say something like this and would go, no, absolutely. I'm not here to convince you that you can't sell it on your own, because you probably can sell on your own. I'm just wanted to ask you a simple question, that are you trying to sell it on your own to be able to say you sold it on your own, or are you selling it on your own to try to make the most money you possibly can? And so what you just did on that question is it just reversed it back, and then it was non-threatening, because you guys all know that if you look statistically, that for sale by owners actually make less money selling it without putting it on the MLS. They absolutely do, because less people want to go buy a for sale by owner, because there's so much lawsuits and things that are happening going on in the world that they would rather have a professional kind of assistant help. So that market, guys, it's what you're doing on your activities is going to dictate what you do. So please, create more activities on that. So any questions on any of this kind of stuff? You guys have any questions on anything? Sarah, thank you for coming. Amber, where are you from? We got Amber Austin. So
Amber Aston. I'm from Chico, California.
Nice. So you got Doug. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. So Tammy, why don't you jump in? Tammy, can you unmute yourself, Tam?
Oh, yes, we're unmuted. You can't hear us.
Okay. Oh, your hair's all dry there, Christine. That's great.
It's wet. Yeah, I think the best training would be that all the people on this call would come to convention. I
Mhm.
mean, it's fabulous. We're exhausted and we still have one more day. That's how great it is.
But we have smiles.
Oh, you guys are out of focus. I don't know how to
I
fix
just
that.
want to say that I took the class where you received most of the information, Eric, and you delivered it better than the guy who delivered the class yesterday.
Wow. Look at that, Christine. Thank you. Yeah. No, it is pretty impressive. You actually go to what was that? The number one company that actually came across the stage. What do you think? 200, 100 people, 150 people came across the stage from that one 200. And it was like 5-7 minutes. We sat there and waited for them to all come to the stage. And it would be pretty impressive. I think, what do we have? Maybe 10, 12, because I think I've seen some people. Jody's here, a couple managers I've seen here. Adrian from business development, I ran into her yesterday, so she's here. Jim Beach is here. Dan, of course, is here. So it's kind of fun. You know, Mimi's Simmon team is here. Jim's here. I think that was anybody else, guys, that we see. So it's really fun because what it does is it allows, and if you guys are not coming to the summit, then you guys need to change your heart right now, because this is, Christine, you've been to the summit, right, Christine?
Yes.
Okay, so compared to the summit, compared to this, is it just on massive kind of crazy steroids, kind of like, wow, it's over the top?
As far as the classes, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, but the summit though, can you see the summit, that if you can't make it to global, how impressive that is, that we actually in our company actually have something that's on a smaller scale company-wide that we just absolutely love?
It has a similar feel.
Yeah, and so, and you feel like you get pumped up and motivated and stuff on that. So guys, please.
I'm totally pumped up.
Yeah, see, look at that. She wants to come. I'm actually.
But it's, I would say statistically, it's the top agents that do come. And so it shows you that it works. So.
That's true. And then Tammy, do you want to, I guess I'll explain what it is, but you guys understand. I think Dan shared it the other day on his Friday update, that he does do a $50 match. So if you guys want to put in $50 if it's closed transaction, then he'll put in $50 and match that to buy your badge on that to be able to come. So Vegas is a little easier because the cheaper flights. Florida will be a little bit more expensive, but I totally agree. Tom Ferry always promotes, Tammy, that the people that actually come have some crazy like 32% increase or 32% more of their gross sales and stuff because of the classes that they actually come to. And yes, I know there were times that I could not afford $1 to come to these classes, and I just couldn't do it, but I just did it, stuck on a credit card, and I just came anyway to some of these trainings. Look at that. We got free shirts. Look, she's dancing. All right, so I can put them on mute, guys, if we want to. But yes, they've been really fun to have. They just cram into a hotel room and just have an enjoyable time, guys. So so that is fun. So I will stop the recording on